Hello, friend, Madame Printemps, Chantal Pons. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And please do not forget to subscribe and do not forget to like to hear more subject about my topics. My topics is about learning to know what is happiness, wisdom, regaining your happiness, calming your mind, and being present. In this video, I will share with you the power of learning when you sense something that is message and the message is from above, or perhaps do animals have a sense of knowing when we are in need of a friend? Do animals can feel when we are in pain, or they are God messages? So let me proceed to my story. Many years ago, I was very new to this country, and I would go for a walk, for a long walk, and I was thinking about my life and friends, my family, and I felt a little lonely, really lonely, more than I would usually feel. And I was walking. I got lost, and I couldn't find my way back home when suddenly I heard about a noise, a very loud noise, and it sounds like it was a horse. So I kept on walking towards this noise or this sound, and then as I turned, I heard the sound came louder and louder, and then I faced to a horse, but the horse was behind the field. And as I looked into the horse, it sounds like he was looking at me. He was like welcoming me, and I was just stunned to see how magnificent this horse was. So I came closer to the horse, but I was not very sure. I thought, I hope he's not going to jump over the fence. But as he came closer and closer to the fence, I came closer and closer to him. And it was absolutely magnificent. This horse was magnificent. And I began to share with him what was inside. I began to talk to him like I would talk to a friend. I would tell him that I'm from France and I used to be wealthy and I used to have those beautiful clothes and perfume, and now I didn't have any friends, and I was feeling really totally lost. And it really looked like the horse was listening to me. And I was apologizing to him that I didn't have anything. I said, I am so sorry. I don't even have any carrots or fruits. And I was looking at the horse and I feel so stupid. I'm so poor. I can't even bring you a carrot or a fruit of anything. And I said, I will come back tomorrow and bring you some carrots. And the next day I came back, and as I walked closer to the horse, I had some carrots with me. I only had a little bag, that's so I can afford it. And and I came to the horse, but then he brought one more horse with him, and the other was just as magnificent than him, and I was just stunned, and I was apologizing. I said, I am so sorry. I only have this small bag of carrots. I feel so stupid. I'm so poor. I can't even afford to buy you guys any food I don't have any fruit that you guys are gonna have to share these carrots. And so I began to cut these carrots, and I had kept on telling them my life. And then the next day I came back, And then the following day, I came back. And every day that I came back for a week, there were more horses and more horses. And suddenly it was like a horde of horses. Like, I don't know where these horses came from. There were so many of them. There must have been 20 horses just standing there. And I was looking at the horse and I say, God, I don't have enough food to feed all of you. And as I share with them my life story, I said, I can only do one thing. I used to sing when I was in France. That's all I can do is I am going to sing to you guys. And I began to stupidly singing to this horse. And I felt this calmness inside of me. It felt like nothing else. It really did feel like something from above, beyond. This peaceful feeling that it really felt like all these horses were looking at me. And when I end my singing, they almost looked like they were clapping at me. And sometimes I wonder, do animals really feel when we are in need? Now, this was the good story. And I never forgot these horses. When I feel lonely, I just think of these horses coming towards me and just bring me this full abundance of friends and wisdom and calmness. And it feels so good, my friend. It feels so good. But the second story I'm going to tell you, that's a little bit different. My kids were little and they were playing outside. And I had suddenly some humongous dog, a Great Dane, that was a Great Dane came, and it looks like he was in pain and limping. I don't know if he got into a fight with another dog, but he was hurting, he was bleeding. And when I first came to this country, I would walk around and try to save animals and anything that was just as lonely as I was or in need of whatever I had, I would share with them. And so I took off this dog and but it was too big. I couldn't keep the dog in my house. That dog was looked like a horse. So I kept him on a porch. And after I kept it for 2 weeks, then I finally decided to call Human Society and to to pick him up. But before they picked him up, something happened. My kids were playing outside and suddenly out of nowhere, this dog, a different dog, a pit bull, he looks like so half and puff, covered with blood everywhere, drooling. It was just really scary. Came right at my oldest daughter, who was only 6 years old at that time. When I saw this, I never leave my kid alone. When they were little, I'm just like a pit bull like them, you know. And when I saw this, I just came forward, moved my daughter in the back, and told my daughter, go home, close the door, and call 911. And as I walked into the dog was coming closer and closer to me, and he was just growling, and he looked like a beast from hell. God, good Lord. So I walked closer to the dog, and suddenly, as he was going to get me. That Great Dane stand up with all his strength and just chew the pit bull to pieces. I was stunned, praying out loud, "Oh my God, I don't know if I should thank you or just ask for forgiveness." But I walked back into my house. And then, of course, I did call 911. And sometimes I think of myself or all the things that happened to me in the past, that from time to time I was saved by life, or I was saved by a dog. And all these memories are come back. And I think it is important to share. I think it's important to share this because my story brings you to reality. And reality is to be present, is to be in control. If I were not in control at that time of when the dog was near me, I could not take the responsibility to save my daughter's life. I was not afraid of my life, and there was no doubt in my mind, you know, whose life was going to go. But my belief was from above. So, this is what I want to share with you, my friend. Animal can sense sometime when we are in need. But in this earth, they are good animals and maybe not so good. We don't know which one. Maybe they've been hurt sometime, and they've been hurt for so many, maybe other dogs or whatever life, and their behavior is going to not be wise as humans sometimes do. So, my friend, my message today is listen and be present. When you see a dog, when you see a bird, try to sense, try to sense what are they trying to communicate with you. When I went back to France, it was not a pleasant circumstance. My mother had a stroke, and as I was sitting and drinking my cup of coffee, suddenly there were a bird, a pigeon came. So I share with him my little cookie that in France they give you coffee with a glass of water, and they give you a little bag of cookies, and I kind of like that. So I share my cookies with the dog, with the sorry, with the bird. And suddenly they were like a flock of birds coming everywhere. They were just everywhere. And the next day when I came back, there were more birds, and they were all following me. And I'm saying to myself, well, thank you, God. You have not forgotten me. I know that you are present. I could feel this peace, this happiness inside, that life is talking to you in silent, and animals are here to bring you some message. Do not forget to listen. To listen, you must be present. See you next time, my friend. Madame Printemps, Chantal Pons. Don't forget to subscribe and please, don't forget to put a like. Au revoir, c'est Chantal. À bientôt.